Hello, thank you for joining today's webinar on the state of LinkedIn advertising and cybersecurity. I'm Matt Bell-Watson, founder of Priestley. We help B2B technology companies make digital campaigns more effective by harnessing the power of data and audience insights to create awareness and generate demand. We're always looking for new ways to help our clients improve performance, which is why we've carried out one of the largest ever studies of LinkedIn advertising by cybersecurity companies in the UK. If you haven't read our report, you can download it by visiting priestley.digital or simply scan the QR code on your screen to get it now. We've crunched through nearly 6,000 LinkedIn ads to understand how cyber companies are using LinkedIn advertising to create awareness and generate demand in the United Kingdom. Today, I'm going to walk you through the key insights and implications for B2B marketers in 2024. So let's dive right into our key findings. Our research uncovered some fascinating insights. Of the 300 companies we analysed, 2/3 advertised on LinkedIn during the first 4 months of this year. Collectively, these companies ran more than 19,000 ads in the UK between January and April. Advertisers tended to be larger companies, with 85% of them having more than 50 employees. Cyber companies are running an average of 24 ads per month, yet the largest companies are running 31 times more ads than the smallest ones. It's no surprise that larger companies with bigger budgets run more ads, but the disparity really is striking, and in some cases the difference is much bigger. The most prolific advertiser we reviewed was churning out an average of 430 ads per month. That breaks down to more than 14 ads every single day. However, quantity doesn't always equal quality. Some of the most memorable ads we saw came from smaller companies, while many of the larger firms' ads we saw were often quite generic and some even contained mistakes. Now, let's take a look at what ad formats cyber companies are using on LinkedIn. In the last few years, LinkedIn has invested in developing and expanding its suite of ad formats with new options like thought leader ads and interactive document ads, offering marketers more creative ways to engage target audiences. We found that cyber companies are using an average of 2.8 different formats. And just as we saw with the volume of ads, larger companies tend to be using more ad formats than smaller ones. Some of the most popular formats are square, landscape, and document ads. Collectively, square and landscape image ads make up 72% of all ads by cyber companies, while document ads make up around 8%. Interestingly, LinkedIn recommends advertisers use square image ads across both mobile and desktop to get the best performance, above and beyond landscape or vertical image ads. Document ads have become increasingly popular since they were launched by LinkedIn 2 years ago. They can be a great way to provide a sneak peek of reports, guides, and ebooks, helping to convince potential customers that they're going to get something of value if they hand over their contact details. However, we found that some advertisers aren't making the most of document ads. In many cases, ads feature the document cover and nothing else, so you miss out on the interactive features that can help engage potential customers. What's more, a lot of the imagery used in document ads hasn't been designed for small screens, so the copy can sometimes be difficult to read on a mobile device. We were surprised to see that some of the more engaging ad formats, such as video and carousels, weren't being used more. Video can be one of the most powerful ways to present customer stories and share insights, while carousels can be an effective way to convey multiple pieces of information. We also found that event ads are being used quite sparingly. These ads, designed to promote webinars, live streams, and in-person events, make up less than 0.5% of all ads from cyber companies in the UK. What's more, LinkedIn has retargeting capabilities built in for many of these formats. For instance, you can retarget people who have watched a certain percentage of your video content, registered for an event, or interacted with a document. This gives you a second shot to reach and nurture more engaged prospects with direct calls to action. But many companies could be missing out on these opportunities by not making full use of the ad formats available. Now, let's take a closer look at the types of content being promoted in LinkedIn ads by cybersecurity companies. The vast majority of ads focus on reports and guides, as well as products and services. These two categories dominate the landscape, establishing thought leadership and helping to capture leads. However, after this, there's a big drop-off. For instance, only 6% of ads feature blog posts and articles, which are essential for engaging and nurturing audiences with informative content. Similarly, we found that ads for webinars were relatively underused, despite their potential to attract a professional audience interested in deep dive learning and discussions. Customer stories also make up just a small fraction of ads. Customer videos, testimonials, and case studies can all help build trust and credibility, so it's surprising that more ads don't tell customer stories. News coverage is another area with untapped potential. Amplifying positive press through LinkedIn can significantly enhance your company's reputation and visibility. Clearly, there's a lot of untapped potential for cyber companies to diversify the content featured in ads by sharing customer stories, showcasing media coverage, and exploring newer formats like podcasts to create more engaging and effective campaigns that stand out from the crowd. Now that we've reviewed the types of content being promoted in LinkedIn ads, let's move on to some key observations from our study. We found there are 5 common areas where relatively small tweaks can improve the performance of advertising campaigns. These are a lack of localization, lack of emotional appeal, creative differentiation, attention to detail, and stop-start advertising. We found that many ads target broad international audiences, with the UK often lumped in with dozens of other countries, from Andorra to Zimbabwe. All of these ads were in English, even in regions where English is not the first language. While English may be the language of business in some geographies, it's unrealistic and inconsiderate to expect audiences to translate long-form content and technical information in order to consume it. At the same time, a lack of localization can make ads less relevant for the intended audience. For instance, the needs of CISOs in the UK may be very different to those in Spain. What's more, this broad targeting can lead to inefficient budget allocation, with LinkedIn determining how much of your budget to spend in each location. For instance, in the example here, 57 locations have been targeted, including the UK, yet 26% of impressions were delivered in Brazil. By creating region-specific content and targeting ads more precisely, you can increase engagement, ensure better utilization of budget, and make your ads more relevant to the audience you're targeting. In a lot of cases, ads for cybersecurity companies don't attempt to connect with target audiences on a personal level or appeal to their emotions in any way. Many ads are purely informational and fail to connect with the audience on a personal level. They address business challenges rather than the human impact on people working in security teams and the wider organization. Yet, LinkedIn's research shows that emotive ads can drive up to 7 times as many large business effects like sales, profits, and revenues than more rational ads. Incorporating human stories and relatable scenarios that evoke an emotive response can make B2B ads much more memorable and drive deeper connections with potential customers. But of course, not all ads are completely devoid of emotion. We particularly like these 3 ads by Blanco Technology, Vulcan Cyber, and Pantera. Blanco uses humour to promote its time-saving data erasure services. In a series of videos, they show a man going to absurd lengths to erase data on a laptop, attacking it with an axe, submerging it in acid, and even setting it on fire. This approach not only entertains, but effectively highlights the ease and efficiency of Blanco's services. Vulcan Cyber taps into nostalgia with a bedtime story about a young vulnerability manager and a princess who takes on cyber threats to save the magical kingdom of Cyberville. Without giving away too much, let's just say after remediating the threats and strengthening the kingdom's defences, they lived happily ever after. This creative narrative connects emotionally by making the technical subject matter more relatable and engaging. Another ad that blends humour and nostalgia is this Star Wars-themed pastiche by Pantera, launched ahead of May the 4th this year. In an office far, far away, questions arise about whether their defences can truly hold up against the dark side of the cyber world. This clever ad, which ran as part of a wider campaign challenging assumptions of cybersecurity, underscores the need for automated testing and security validation in a fun and memorable way. Of course, not all ads need to use video to be emotive, but as we've seen here, it can be a particularly effective way to connect with your audience. B2B marketing has long been criticised for being a bit boring and forgettable, but in recent years there's been something of a creative renaissance. Brands are launching bigger, bolder, and braver campaigns that audiences actually remember. There's a growing understanding that creativity isn't just a nice to have, but a mission-critical must-have that directly impacts the effectiveness of advertising. However, we found that there's still some way to go. When sifting through nearly 6,000 ads, we found that many LinkedIn ads in the cybersecurity sector look and feel quite similar. Ads often rely on cliched images such as hackers in hoodies, fingerprints, and padlocks to convey the concept of cybersecurity. Many ads use generic stock photos and dark color palettes, making it difficult to differentiate between organizations in the sector. Many ads feature report covers for ebooks, knowledge guides, white papers, and analyst reports with little explanation as to why they're worth downloading. Others are just crammed full of text, logos, icons, and images that you lose sight of what it's about. There's also a lot of common ideas, such as incentivizing people to attend demos with gift vouchers and competitions. The trouble is, when you see an Amazon voucher or an Uber gift card, the brand is so recognizable it jumps out at you, and that's what you remember. It's the same with branded content. We lost count of how many companies had created guides for dummies. Dummies guides are a fantastic resource, and there's a certain credibility that comes from partnering with a trusted brand, but you encounter the same problem. The brand is so recognizable and the design so iconic, it distracts from your own business. Now, I know I said we lost count of how many companies had created guides for dummies, but the truth is we did keep count. 5% of all cyber companies use dummy guides in their ads. Many of those are larger businesses, so if we focus on companies with 1,000 or more employees, 1 in 10 are using guides for dummies in their LinkedIn ads. Suddenly, something that seems like quite a novel idea isn't quite so novel after all. To make your ads stand out in the LinkedIn feed and create a longer-lasting impression, advertisers should avoid common cliches and adopt a distinct style and engaging approach. Here are 3 examples that we particularly liked. First, Rapid7 uses distinct brand assets and colours in their ads along with the voice of the customer. Instead of using proper English and jargon, they use relatable language like awesomeness to hammer home the message effectively. Next, Do Control uses LinkedIn Thought Leader ads to amplify posts published by their CEO. This ad links to a sensitive document that appears to have been accidentally shared outside the organisation. This clever narrative demonstrates how easily confidential information can end up in the wrong hands. Finally, Penores taps into popular culture by featuring a meme of Victoria and David Beckham. This light-hearted approach introduces a blog about third-party cyber risks in a fun and engaging way. Something else we observed is lack of attention to detail, especially when advertising at scale. We found numerous instances of typos and other human errors, such as file names being used instead of headline text in ads. These mistakes may seem relatively minor, but they can undermine the credibility and effectiveness of ads. Imagine seeing an ad with a glaring typo. It doesn't really inspire confidence. But it's not just about typos. Attention to detail also extends to the production value of your content. For instance, in this ad we see an expert talking to a colleague who nods along awkwardly for 30 seconds without ever saying a word. Getting a colleague to sense-check your ads or testing them with a small sample of your target audience could help you spot potential issues before your ads go live. Making sure your ads are free from mistakes and look professional helps make a better impression, while high production values can make a big difference in how your audience perceives your brand. Our study also revealed the stop-start nature of many advertising campaigns. While our research found that the average advertiser runs 24 ads per month, many companies only ran a handful of ads in the first 4 months of this year, and often these ads only ran for short periods of time rather than being always on. Advertising inconsistently can disrupt momentum. Once the ads stop, so does the engagement, making it hard to nurture and convert interest in your business. That's something that's particularly important for B2B companies with long sales cycles that can easily extend to 12 or 18 months, if not longer. An always-on strategy spanning all stages of the funnel ensures consistent interaction, nurturing interest, and helping to keep your brand top of mind. In the final section, I wanted to share a few actionable tips for improving the performance of your LinkedIn advertising campaigns inspired by our research findings. Firstly, take a good look at your campaign data to see what's working well and what's not. This data can help you understand how well your ads are meeting your objectives, whether it's raising awareness, generating leads, or driving engagement. In addition to looking at metrics like click-through rate and cost per click, pay close attention to other engagement metrics that can provide an early insight into how campaign assets are performing. For instance, look at the rate of engagement with document ads or the view length of video content. It's also worth filtering the results to see if certain ad formats, messaging, or creative styles perform better than others. These insights can help you to continuously refine your ad campaigns and improve your performance. Next, review and refine your campaign targeting to make sure your ads are reaching the most relevant audience. Look at the demographics for who has been interacting with your ads and filter out irrelevant targets to ensure your ads are reaching the most engaged and appropriate audience. Pay attention to the job titles, seniority, company sizes, industry, and locations. Where possible, consider using separate campaigns to target specific roles, industries, or regions. This approach will allow you to assign budget with greater precision and ensure that ads are tailored to the needs of each group, improving how relevant they are. Reviewing your competitors' ads is a great way to gain new ideas and insights when planning your campaigns. You can do this easily and for free in the LinkedIn ad library. Simply search for the company name and filter by country and time period. Start by reviewing their creative strategies, positioning and differentiation. Look for creative ways to make your brand stand out from the crowd. It's really important that your campaigns show that you understand and care about your customers' needs. Take the time to talk to customers to learn about what challenges they're facing, what problems they're trying to solve, what jobs they have to do, and how achieving this goal will help them personally. If that's not possible, speak to people that work with customers in your business, such as the sales team. Use these insights to inform your campaign messaging and ad creatives, ensuring your content is emotive, personal, and relatable. And where possible, use the language your customers use when they talk about the problems they face rather than jargon industry terms. Take time to review your current campaigns from both a creative and strategic perspective. Think about whether your ads are speaking to customers' needs as effectively as possible, and if not, update them. Likewise, it's important to make sure that your ads are visually appealing, on-brand, and effectively communicate your key messages. A good way to find out what works is to use A/B tests to compare different variations of your ads to pinpoint the most effective elements. These insights can help you to continually refine your strategy and improve the effectiveness of your advertising. But don't stop there. It's important to continually optimize. Build regular reviews into every campaign cycle so that you can adapt to changing customer needs, market trends, and new ad formats. This ongoing process of refinement and adaptation based on results and feedback ensures that your campaigns will remain relevant, effective, and impactful. Unfortunately, that's all we've got time for today. I hope you found our insights and recommendations helpful for boosting your LinkedIn campaigns. If you'd like to read the full report, you can download it by visiting priestley.digital or simply scan the QR code on your screen to get it now. Thank you for listening today. If you have any questions or would like to learn more about Priestley, please do get in touch. My email is matt@priestley.digital and I'd love to hear from you. Thanks again for joining me for today's webinar. Have a great day.